Koreans' cultural lives in numbers. How much money do Koreans spend on their cultural lives in an average month? Do they enjoy more or less culture compared with the world's major countries? President Park Geun-hye returns from a four-nation tour of the Middle East. Can she spur a second Middle East boom like her father, the late President Park Chung-hee, who led the Middle East boom of the 70s? Korea agrees to export its smart nuclear reactors to Saudi Arabia. What is the core technology of the smart reactor, recognized for its safety and economic efficiency? Korea's new video conferencing technology enhances the shortcomings of existing technology. Eliminating choppy video or audio, the new technology enables eye contact. How does it work? February to March is when North Korean students devote themselves to studying ahead of the college entrance exam. What kinds of skills and qualifications are needed to enter North Korea's most prestigious university?
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon and welcome to Bizline. Now, spring has sprung, which means it's a great time to get out and about, to see a movie, take in a performance, catch a show. And this raises a question. How much of their leisure time and how much of their discretionary income do Koreans spend enriching their cultural lives? Well, let's take a look.
People watch movies at the cinema, go to see plays, and enjoy concerts to spend their leisure time in a meaningful way. So how much time and money do Koreans spend on cultural activities? We asked in person.
거의 한 2달에 한 번 정도 그냥 아니면 재밌는 영화 개봉하면 보러 가는 정도.
좋아하는 가수 콘서트를 할 때 한 2달에 한 번 정도 관람하고 있어요.
연극 같은 경우는 대부분 3만 원에서 5만 원 정도 지출을 하는데 가끔 정말 보고 싶은 뮤지컬 같은 게 오면 조금 크게 10만 원 이상 가끔 지출합니다. 1년에 한 번 정도.
문화생활을 하게 되면은 일상이랑은 조금 떨어져서 그 공간 안에서 온전히 저만의 느낌으로 즐길 수 있어서
마음속에 담아뒀던 걸 보여주니까 그냥 다른 사람들도 이렇게 지내는구나 이런 느낌을 받을 때도 있고 해서 동질감 이런 것도 느껴서 스트레스 해소나 이런 데 좀 꽤 도움이 되는 것 같아요.
In 2014, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism and the Korea Culture and Tourism Institute surveyed 10,000 men and women above the age of 15 across 17 cities and provinces on their cultural enjoyment. The results showed that 7 out of 10 Koreans enjoyed culture and arts and spent on average $145. The percentage of people who attended cultural and arts events at least once a year steadily rose from 2003 and hit the 70% mark for the first time last year. With the implementation of a 5-day work week in 2004, along with the rise in the national income, the amount of people wanting to enjoy their leisure activities began to grow. Interest in cultural life gradually increased. The annual movie theater attendance has surpassed 200 million, and K-pop has grown into a global industry. Demand for tickets has led to an increase in cultural activities. Looking at the attendance rate by category, movies top the list with 65.8%, followed by pop music, theater, and musicals. The number of moviegoers was relatively high.
서울 시민 같은 경우에 영화관에 1년에 몇 번 가느냐라고 물어봤을 때 평균적으로 따지면 3회 정도 됩니다. 반면에 클래식 공연장이나 연극 관람 얼마나 하느냐라고 물어보면 0.01회, 0.02회 이런 것처럼 이제 문화라고 하는 그 영역 내에서 사실은 차이가 많이 나고 특히나 이제 예술이라든지 뭐 전통 공연이라든지 아니면은 뭐 미술 관람 이런 일도 굉장히 낮습니다. 그래서 전체적으로 보면 이제 편식이 심하다는 부분들도 있고 그 중에서 영화가 굉장히 압도적인 거죠. 근데 사실 이제 장기적으로 보면 문화에 대한 관심들이 점차 늘어나기 때문에 이런 어떤 편식이라는 것도 조금 더 다양해질 거라고 보고 그런 면에서는 좀 긍정적인 방향이 이제 나타나지 않을까라고 생각을 합니다.
So how about Seoul, which has a relatively higher rate of people taking part in cultural life? The Seoul Foundation for Arts and Culture surveyed around 3,000 people who have a high interest in cultural activities. The results showed that people in their 20s attended the most events and spent the most. But when we take a closer look, single women in their 30s and 40s, who have relatively more free time and financial means, spent about $820 and $750 respectively. This is because singles tend to enjoy cultural activities more and then spend time raising their family once they get married. After becoming middle-aged, people once again are able to afford to take part in cultural activities.
그러니까 문화생활을 많이 영위하는 분들에 있어서의 삶의 만족도가 가장 높은 수치로 나왔습니다. 무슨 말이냐면 문화생활에 대한 관심도가 높은 분일수록 삶의 만족도가 높았다는 결론이 나왔고요. 20대 못지않은 왕성한 문화생활을 즐기는 결과가 나왔습니다. 따라서 아마도 그 문화생활 영위와 삶의 만족도는 어떤 연관성이 있지 않을까, 이번 조사에서 가장 큰 소출이라고 볼 수 있겠습니다.
Customized marketing is needed to target those who seek self-contentment versus those who pursue family happiness. Where does Seoul rank in its cultural level compared to cities around the world? Looking at the index, Seoul's movie ticket sales per person or its annual number of plays is among the highest in the world, while it lacks in the number of music concerts and dance shows. As Korea's cultural sector diversifies and expands its base, the number of people who love culture and actively participate will also grow.
문화생활이라고 하는 것도 그런 어떤 삶의 질 만족도에 영향을 미치는 큰 요소이다라고 하는 부분들이 하나 나타나고 있고, 사실은 앞으로 사람들은 지금 현재 삶보다는 조금 더 나은 삶을 꿈꾸고 그것에 대한 관심들이 늘어날 수밖에 없습니다. 그렇게 본다고 하면 이런 이제 문화 소비에 관한 경험치라고 하는 것들은 점차 늘어날 거고, 그 결과 삶이 조금 더 풍요로워지는 그런 결과가 나올 것이라고 예상합니다.
A great concert or work of art shines brighter when there is an audience to enjoy them. As people's cultural consumption increases, Korea's cultural industry will grow both in quantity and quality.
President Park Geun-hye has just returned from a four-nation tour of the Middle East. She was in Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, and the UAE. And her timing was very appropriate because this year is the 50th anniversary of Korea's first economic ties with the Middle East in the form of construction contracts. So, what did President Park achieve during her tour, and what are the future possibilities for Korean firms in the region? These are some of the questions we have for our guest today. She's a research fellow and an expert on the Middle East here at the Asan Institute for Policy Studies in Seoul. Dr. Jang Ji-hyang, thanks for being on Bizline.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure. First of all, having watched this pretty closely, what would you say is the single most significant outcome of this trip?
President Park made a great economy achievement, signing about 44 MOU contract with those 4 oil-rich countries.
Yeah.
And therefore, Korea companies will participate in the traditional sector of construction and energy, and also will expand more diverse sectors
including
of ICT and banking and medical service and healthcare, and even food processing field. So it is really critical because we are in the middle of low oil prices and kind of slowing Korean economy, despite her signature startup economy or creative economy project.
So you mentioned that about 40 plus contracts were signed. Let's just go through the countries one by one. What were the key achievements in each of the 4 nations?
Okay, like in Kuwait, there were like MOUs to exchange the medical professionals between the 2 countries, and also it's about railroad building project connecting Kuwait with other GCC countries. And in Saudi Arabia, she succeeded in agreeing an MOU on small and medium-sized nuclear reactor, so-called the SMART nuclear reactor, and which is one of the top highlights of those 44 MOUs.
Yeah.
MOU is not really a final agreement.
Far from it, right.
Yeah, but it is still, critical because the two countries decide to review the feasibility of building that, multifunctional nuclear reactor by Korean technology with the Saudi capital.
But of course, the previous president, Lee Myung-bak, also won atomic power contracts in the Middle East, did he not? How are those contracts proceeding?
It goes very well. The nuclear reactor agreement and also medical service and healthcare MOUs in UAE are really, really going very well. And this time, President Park reached agreement of MOU regarding halal certified food processing in the United Arab Emirates, because except for that, everything just going very well in UAE. And finally in Qatar, the Sheikh Tamim had ordered those authorities to treat Korean companies bidding for
public projects? Or?
Yes, preferentially, because the Korea is really dying for earning those 2022 World Cup infrastructure projects.
Got you. How big is there a global market for halal food? How many Muslims are potentially customers for Korean Islamic processed food?
Muslims make up 1/4 of the entire world population, and which means the market is really gigantic.
Yeah.
And last year, Korea exported halal certified food worth $680 million.
Okay.
And surprisingly enough...
So the market already exists here?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And I know that the MOU will double up the Korean food export, related to halal food. And surprisingly enough, about 80% of the halal food are produced from non-Muslim countries. So yeah, Korea has very huge potential market there.
In that area. But the UAE, of course, while it's a very significant economy in dollar terms, pretty small population of halal food eaters. Does the UAE actually have any sort of significant global distribution network around the Muslim world?
Yeah, I believe so, because UAE again is a very small country with a small scope of economy, but that country is claiming that they are the hub for Muslim connections. Specific and the entire world connection. For example, in general, for example, the UAE argues that they are the bigger, a Singapore in the region. So
the Singapore or the Middle East.
Yes.
Okay. So a promising opportunity there for Korean food processors. The 4 countries that were visited are all members of the GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council. And I understand that Korea broke off, or FTA negotiations didn't actually proceed with the GCC. But some persons in Korea are suggesting it's time for Korea to reopen negotiations with the Gulf for a free trade agreement.
Exactly.
Do you agree?
I'm not really fully, convinced by the argument that we need to resume the FTA, negotiation, which were stopped during the 29 due to their financial crisis. I'm not really convinced because, usually FTA will be mutually beneficial, providing win-win situation for two countries when and if those two countries are evenly involved with, imports and exports and trade volumes. But Korea imports more than 80% of oil and energy from that country, which is really heavily dependent upon their oil imports. And we do export some manufacturing goods, but it's still very uneven.
You don't think an FTA would help level the playing field?
No. Like then the rationale for those pro-FTA argument is that Singapore and GCC and the EU and GCC they reached FTA agreement and took effect in 2013 and 14 respectively. But I don't think the same rationale like applies to us.
Okay, moving on. Clearly, the provision of nuclear reactors suggests that the Middle East, even in its key sector, which is energy, is moving into the post-oil era. Talk us through that. What does that mean in terms of business opportunities?
You know, post-oil era is about traditional oil demand and supply, and as we all know that we are witnessing kind of like a great transformation in global energy sector due to the shale revolution and continuing drop in the oil prices. And as you mentioned that, you know, the oil revenue itself is running down in the oil-rich countries, and at the same time, they are huge oil consumers as well.
Yeah.
So they needed to diversify their energy sector and also economy sector. So they are doing, you know, like trying to find the alternative energy resources, like focusing on, you know, nuclear energy, reactor building, etc. And now they are trying to do the second, you know, step, like manufacturing sector boost up project.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. The oil-rich nations are moving into manufacturing now.
Yes, they must.
Okay.
I mean, they needed to do it anyway, but they needed to do that sooner than they expected due to the shale revolution and the low oil prices era.
Which has accelerated all this, I would guess. As we're talking about the post-oil era, let me ask you this. Traditionally, most Middle Eastern countries, oil-rich Middle Eastern countries rather, have been focused on Korea largely as a destination for energy exports. Are they now taking a wider interest in the Korean economy?
Yes, I know that the oil-rich countries wanted to co-invest many like a wider range of sectors, including again like ICT and medical sectors and food processing sectors with Korea. And let me take an example of like medical services and healthcare sector cooperation between, you know, Korea and those Gulf nations. Like, Korea has very, you know, strong like presence and advantages compared to the European counterpart in the region, mainly due to accessibility and affordability in addition to technology and quality. Last year, Seoul National University Hospital was launched in Abu Dhabi.
Really?
And then the cure rate of Seoul National University Hospital there went much higher than those of other advanced like countries like European countries. Yes.
I didn't realize Korea was exporting hospitals, but okay.
And then also like compared to high-end service and affordable cost of Korean medical staff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Middle East is not really popular destination for European, you know, medical staff. So again, thanks to the accessibility and affordability, and of course, you know, quality. Like Korea has a stronger presence in the sector of medical care and healthcare field there. I mean, at least compared to European countries.
Gotcha. Okay. You've mentioned a couple of times that there's the shale gas revolution, largely in North America, but seems to be spreading elsewhere. And there's also, we're really in I can't remember when oil prices were so low, OPEC almost seems to have lost the plot. How serious an impact are these developments having on the oil-rich economies in the Middle East?
Okay, right now those oil-rich countries are losing their market shares due to the cheap shale gas and oil. Now they're trying so hard to pump more oil under the guidelines of OPEC, which is led by, you know, used to be price stove Saudi Arabia. But now, I mean, Saudi Arabia is not a price stove anymore because, I mean, Saudi Arabia is like pumping oil very, you know, seriously.
So more volume coming into the market, basically, which doesn't do much for pricing.
Exactly, you know, like they wanted to secure their, you know, the price competitiveness compared to the cheap shale.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So a time of change in the Middle East, but also, of course, a great time of enormous volatility and political risk in places like Syria, parts of Iraq, and so forth. I think if you're a businessman who's going into that part of the world, you need to have a pretty strong set of nerves. What advice would you give for Korean businessmen who may be seeking to enter Middle Eastern markets at this time?
Well, I would say sincerity. Well, President Park really made her greatest effort to help Korean companies gain, stronger presence there. I mean, I really do appreciate it, but I'm a little worried that her apparently economy first diplomacy or sales diplomacy might hurt so-called genuine, deep trust, strategic partnership between the two sides.
But, well, hold it. I mean, what kind of strategic partnership is there between Korea and the Gulf states? I thought it pretty much was based on economics, no?
But then Korea now starts as emerging middle power.
So it needs to reach beyond economics and be more diplomatic in its outreach?
Absolutely. I mean, the security in the Middle East is really important for us in many regions, including the safety of our companies there too. Yeah. But then the local people there might think that Korea is only interested in doing business with them. Just while turning a deaf ear to their problems, including terrorism and violent extremism.
Are you suggesting that South Korea should be more strategically or militarily engaged in the region, along with its allies like the US?
Personally, I think so, because that in turn will help us when we are seeking for our support from them and from the international community when we are dealing with North Korea issue and Korean Peninsula issue. But that's just my personal view. But I just wish that it would have been better if President Park addressed Korea's ongoing humanitarian contribution to the people there suffering from the ISIS threat and attack. Because we are contributing for the refugees and etc. But she didn't.
Okay.
So
you're suggesting perhaps for the present and the future, less focus on the economy, more focus on traditional diplomacy.
Yeah.
That's not something we often hear on Bizline. Okay. Well, thanks very much for giving us some great information and your own frank views. So have a pleasure having you on Bizline.
Thank you.
Okay.
Open this app if you'd like to know more about the hidden treasures of Korea's capital, Seoul. This week's app is Seoul Travel, which recommends Seoul's attractions and eateries. Let's find out where Seoul's photogenic spots are this spring. Choose restaurants around those spots, referring to the many foods offered in Korea. The app also recommends unusual tour spots in Seoul. You can post questions about traveling in Seoul and get quick answers. The app is recommended for people who want to discover hidden treasures of Seoul. It'll make traveling in Seoul more fun and exciting.
During President Park's recent trip to the Middle East, Korea signed preliminary construction contracts for nuclear reactors, which are worth an estimated $1.8 billion. And these are no ordinary atomic facilities. These are system-integrated, modular, advanced reactors, or smart reactors for short. This means they're smaller in size, lower in construction cost than regular reactors, and also are noted for their safety. So let's go nuclear and find out how competitive these Korean reactors really are.
During her visit to 4 Middle East countries early this month, President Park Geun-hye in Saudi Arabia signed a memorandum of understanding with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud to build 2 small and medium-sized nuclear reactors in the oil-rich country. Under the agreement, Korea will transfer technology for the System Integrated Modular Advanced Reactor, or SMART, and assist Saudi Arabia to build 2 of the units that each cost about $1 billion. Korea could eye huge opportunities through export of small modular reactors in the Middle East through its advanced homegrown small grid design. The Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute is the local designer of the Korean small nuclear reactor system called SMART. It was able to develop the SMART capable for generating power up to 100,000 kilowatts completely through local technology in 2012 after 15 years of research. The mini power grid was designed for overseas markets suitable for countries and locations that cannot accommodate large nuclear reactor facilities.
이 세계적으로 보면은 소형 원자로가 수요로 하는 나라들이 많이 있습니다. 물론 대형 원자로가 경제적이기 때문에 많이 지으려고 하고 있지만은 대형 원전을 건설하려면 그 건설비도 많이 들고 또 여러 가지 인프라가 필요하기 때문에 실질적으로 소형 원전도 많은 나라에서 필요로 하고 있습니다. 그래서 저희들이 그 소형 원전을 개발하게 되었습니다.
The distinctive merit of the SMART system is in its simple integral design. The key components of a typical thermal nuclear reactor, such as steam generator, pressurizer, and coolant, are installed outside and connected to the main turbine through large pipe tubes. But all the key components, valves, and connecting pipes are designed to be fitted into the main turbine as to enhance safety and economy of production and cost.
하나의 압력용기 안에 모든 구성기기가 다 들어 있습니다. 그럼으로써 각각 그 구성기기를 연결하는 배관은 원천적으로 사라지게 됩니다. 그렇기 때문에 일체형 개념이 중소형에서는 가능하게 되고 그리고 각각의 구성기기들을 모듈화를 시킬 수 있습니다.
The modular design also simplifies the assembly and fabrication process, shortening and simplifying the construction process.
공장에서 제작한 모듈화된 기기를 실제 건설 현장에서는 조립, 설치 업무만 남게 됩니다. 따라서 건설 공기가 대폭 축소될 수 있을 걸로 예상합니다. 그리고 공장에서 제작하기 때문에 다량 생산이 가능하고 그래서 제작 비용도 대폭 감소시킬 수 있습니다.
Another integral feature of the SMART system is its high level of passive or inherent safety mechanisms in the event of malfunction. It automatically is shut down against emergencies without man control. The device has gone through numerous performance and safety simulation tests on integral test loop systems before securing licenses and standard approval from regulators.
본 스마트 ITL 시험 장치는 높이를 그대로 보존하면서 직경을 7분의 1로 줄인 시험 장치입니다. 본 시험 장치를 이용해서 스마트 원자로의 다양한 그 기기의 성능과 그리고 종합적인 연관관계에 대한 검증을 할 수 있고 여러 가지 사고 시나리오들이 발생할 수 있는데 미리 사고 시나리오에 대한 모의를 통해서 안전성을 검증할 수 있습니다.
The best part of SMART reactor is its economic edge. First of all, the construction cost can be saved up to 1/5 of a full-scale nuclear plant. It is also a lot cheaper to generate power in comparison with a mid-sized thermal plant. SMART is not only designed for electricity generation, but also other thermal applications. It can be applied for seawater desalination, changing the seawater into fresh water suitable for human consumption or irrigation. The steam residue is used to boil and desalinate seawater.
스마트 원자로의 2차 개통에서는 200도씨의 그 물이 증기 발생기를 통과하면서 약 300도씨의 과열 증기로 바뀝니다. 공급된 공정열을 이용하여 바닷물을 증발시키고 그 증발된 바닷물을 다시 그 담수화로 회수하는 그 기술을 사용하게 됩니다.
The SMART system can generate 40,000 tons of desalinated water and 90,000 kilowatts of electricity a day at the same time. That is enough to supply water and electricity to a city of 100,000 people. In mid and small-sized nuclear reactor field, Korea is the most advanced. It, however, needs to continue research and customize grid systems for different locations in order to stay ahead of the United States, France, and China that have recently turned aggressive in development.
일단 첫 특위가 건설되면은 많은 나라가 그동안 주저하고 있던 나라들이 더 이제 적극적으로 소형 원전 도입에 나설 거로 봅니다. 그렇게 되면은 실제 소형 원전의 시장은 엄청 잠재력은 큽니다. 아직까지 소형 원전이 어디서도 나타나지 않았기 때문에 실제 시장에서 활성화는 안 됐다고 보지만 이번에 첫 토기를 우리가 건설함으로써 상당히 많은 나라가 우리도 할 수 있지 않을까라는 기대를 갖지 않을까 이렇게 봅니다.
Korea's first small nuclear reactor may use the Middle East momentum to spread out to other parts of the world, and it will lead the small and mid-sized nuclear reactor market.
Video conferencing overcomes limitations of distance, enabling a group chat regardless of geographic location, at least potentially. In fact, video conferencing has been underutilized, partly because of the choppy nature of audio and visual quality. And yet in Korea, with so many government bodies moving outside Seoul, the need, the demand for video conferencing is greater than ever before. As a result, Korean researchers have been focusing on upgrading related technologies. Have they been successful? Let's see.
Video conferencing eliminates the limitations of time and space by connecting people from distant places into one space. We take a look at new video conferencing technologies that will move up the so-called smart work era. In a recent cabinet meeting, cabinet members in Seoul and Sejong City were able to come together through a video conference. The need for video conferencing is growing by the day, but it's not being used widely as we would think. That is because it's difficult to be immersed in the conversation and it does not feel like talking to a person in real life.
영상 회의를 통해서 이야기를 할 때 이야기를 듣는 상대방의 어떤 반응을 알 수 없다고 하는 것이 제일 큰 불만입니다. 즉 대화성이 부족하다는 불만이 있었고요. 두 번째가 중요한 이야기를 하는 중간에 영상과 음성이 끊어지는 문제가 두 번째로 큰 불만 사항이었습니다. 마지막으로 가격 문제가 있습니다. 영상의 시스템은 주로 그동안에 하드웨어로 만들어져 있었기 때문에 대기업이나 공공기관이 아니면 도입하기가 매우 어려웠습니다. 그래서 아직까지 영상회의 서비스 자체가 대중화가 되어 있지 않은 실정입니다.
South Korean researchers have overcome these issues and developed the more advanced video conferencing technology. Eliminating choppy video or audio, the new technology enables eye contact using high-definition grade images. Creating eye contact video conferencing technology was key. Researchers at Etri were the first to develop 3D image technology that let people see the other person as if they were right in front of each other. They did this by using images from the cameras that were placed on the left and right side of the screen and combining this with Kinect technology widely used in video games, which calculates the depth of a person's face, such as their nose and ears.
현재 눈맞춤 기술은 매우 필요하지만 아직까지 외국 기업들을 상용화하지 못한 제일 큰 이유가 실시간 처리가 곤란했기 때문입니다. 현재 저희가 개발한 알고리즘은 초당 2프레임 정도의 수준으로서 상용화에는 약간 미흡한 수준입니다. 즉 저희는 이 알고리즘의 고도화 개발을 통해서 초당 30프레임 이상의 실시간 처리가 가능한 기술을 1년 내에 개발 완료해서 사용 제품화할 계획입니다.
This new technology allows for a steady stream of video and audio, irrespective of an internet connection, as it solved the issue of lost packets while sending and receiving data images. When there are multiple participants in the conference, existing technology split the screen into 4. This new technology is able to automatically detect the current speaker and show the person on the big screen.
저희 영상회의 시스템에서 주화자 검출 기술이라는 것은 현재 말하고 있는 사람의 목소리를 자동으로 검출해서 그 사람의 화면을 내가 보고 있는 스크린에 바로 띄워줌으로 인해서 말하는 사람과 대화하고 있는 듯한 현장감을 바로 줄 수 있습니다.
The technology cost is less than a quarter of that price, so it will be easier to distribute. The use of video conferencing, such as for telemedicine, is endless as it connects people far away.
영상 회의를 통한 원격 협업을 필요로 하는 시스템들은 모두 적용 대상인데요. 첫 번째가 업무 미팅을 위한 영상회의 서비스, 두 번째가 교육 분야입니다. 즉 지방에 있는 학생들도 서울에 있는 유명한 선생님을 통해서 쉽게 교육을 받을 수 있는 서비스고요. 세 번째가 원격 의료 분야입니다. 실제로 보면 의사는 항상 환자와 원격에서 눈맞춤을 통해서 정확한 치료를 할 수 있다고 생각하고요.
With the increase of smartphone usage, companies are becoming more interested in the mobile video conferencing market. Apart from the traditional wired internet-based video conferencing, wireless internet-based mobile video conferencing is rapidly growing. Many mobile video conferencing services that are easy to use are being developed.
스마트폰이 생김으로써 기존의 거치형 화상회의라든가 기존의 PC 화상회의에서 충분히 출장 비용을 절감해 줄 수 있었지만 이 모바일의 그 화상회의가 됨으로써 그 장소와 시간적인 제약을 없애줄 수 있게 되었습니다. 저희는 MCU, 그 다음에 모바일, 그리고 각종 기존에 있던 어떤 각종 하드웨어 화상회의 장비라든지 기존의 이제 CCTV라든가 이런 것들 모든 걸 다 통합할 수 있는 그 화상회의 시스템인 것이 가장 큰 특징입니다.
The biggest advantage of mobile video conferencing is that you can use it anytime, anywhere. You can share files and videos remotely through your smartphone.
어떤 순수 PC라든지 소프트웨어만으로 모바일도 휴대폰 그 단말만 이용을 해서 그 다가자간으로 이용할 수 있게끔 만들어주는 것이 목적이고요. 그런 부분을 해서 궁극적으로는 어떤 해외 그런 비싼 고가의 화상의 장비를 이용하지 않고도 저희 순수한 소프트웨어만으로서 그런 고퀄리티, 그런 고성능의 화상회의를 제공해 주는 것이 이제 목적이라 할 수 있겠습니다.
The distribution of smartphones and advance in ICT technology is bringing forward the era of smart work.
정부에 민원을 낸 민원인이 세종시까지 찾아가지 않더라도 그 영상으로 민원 관련한 애로사항을 접수를 한다든지 그 농어촌 지역의 학생들한테 멘토링 시스템을 운영을 하는데 그 원거리에서 영상을 통해서 멘토링을 하는 그런 우수 사례가 있었습니다. 앞으로 이런 그 영상회의 기술이 여러 그 분야에서 그 아주 유용하게 활용될 것으로 생각합니다.
Video conferencing maximizes work efficiency and is aiming to vitalize a wide array of industries, from remote medical cooperation to education.
Koreans are known for their strong educational focus, and March marks the beginning of the new school year here in South Korea. But in North Korea, it marks the beginning of the university entrance exams. This means that North Korean students right now will be furiously studying in hopes of entering their country's most prestigious universities. And this raises a question or two. For example, what are the university entrance criteria in North Korea? And does every student in that country have a fair chance of entering them?
February and March every year are crucial moments for North Korean students. Over the 2 months, aspirants sit for exams to enter universities. The sleepless nights, anxiety, and stress would be the same for North Korean students as it is for any student preparing for college entry. But the difference is that this is actually a privilege for North Korean students. North Korean students pore over their books for a last-minute scan-through ahead of their higher education entrance tests. These students are the elite who have earned the 20% highest score in the preliminary test.
우리로 치면 이제 고3이라고 할 수 있는 고등중학 학생들이 이제 매년 12월 대학 이제 일종의 예비고사를 보게 됩니다. 그럼 이제 대학에 지원할 수 있는 자격을 갖게 되고, 그리고 이제 이듬해 2월에서 3월 사이에 이제 원하고자 하는 대학에 가가지고 이제 대학 입학 고사를 치르게 되는 것이죠. 그러니까 이제 2단계로 되어 있는 것이다 이렇게 볼 수가 있겠고요.
Just half of those who have passed the preliminary test can get into colleges, as eligibility to sit for the real test is given to double the number of the freshman quota in North Korean universities.
국어, 영어, 수학 그리고 뭐 이제 그 과학 과목들 그 외에 이제 특징적인 것이라고 한다면 혁명 역사 과목이 포함이 됩니다. 그러니까 김일성, 이제 김정일, 김정은 이렇게 그 체제를 이제 강화하는 이런 과목들이 가장 중요하게 들어가고요. 그리고 이제 본고사 과목은 보게 되면 그 대학별 학과 이제 과목 그리고 건강이 상당히 중요합니다. 그래서 그 체력장과 관련된 시험 그리고 면접고사로 이루어져 있습니다.
The look of intent and eagerness on the faces of North Korean students preparing for college is like any other aspiring college student in other countries. But this is a luxury that can be experienced by just a select group.
김일성 대학이나 좋은 대학 같은 경우는 결국은 이제 노동당 고위 간부들 양성하는 것이 목표이기 때문에 출신 성분이 나쁜 학생들은 사실 지원하고 대학에 들어가봤자 의미가 없는 것이죠. 뭐 그렇기 때문에 결과적으로는 사실상 출신 성분이 대학, 특히 좋은 대학 들어가는데 가장 중요한 판단 또 평가의 기준이 되는 것이죠.
But not everyone from a good family can go to the colleges of their wishes. According to a defector who had been a teacher in North Korea for 15 years, universities set a quota for each high school in accepting new students.
땡땡땡 어느 중학교에는 김일성 정합대학에 1명, 또 김제공업대학에 또 2명. 그 TO의 할당량에 한해서 매 학급마다 또 이제 배정을 하거든요. 그래서 교사는 어떻게 하나 자기 학급, 자기가 맡았던 담임 학생을 좋은 대학으로 보내려면 학교장이나 교사청위원이나 위원장이나 또 학교 그 선생님들하고 또 이제 소통이라든가 관계 형성을 잘해야 되겠죠. 그래서 거기서 좋은 대학을 보내는 그 교사나 또 좋은 대학을 할당받을 수 있는 교장이나 이런 사람들이 북한에서는 능력 있는 교사라고 얘기를 하고 있습니다.
The quota for new students is also influenced by the national policy agenda.
그 당시에 국가의 이제 정책 결정 방향이라든지 만약에 IT가 중요하다라고 하면 IT의 대학과 그 학과의 이제 우선순위가 이제 결정이 되면 거기에 따라서 개인의 의사를 어느 정도 고려해서 학교와 과가 선정이 돼서 아예 내려옵니다. 자신이 원하지 않고 이렇게 진학할 때 결정됐을 때에 자신의 의사와 상관이 없이 이제 국가가 정해주는 대로 진학 시험을 치르고 그 과를 들어가게 되는 그런 체제로 되어 있습니다.
This is not the end of the complicated process of getting higher education in North Korea. There is another major hurdle: payoff to college officials.
90년도 이제 후반부터 갑자기 경제 사정이 그 곤란해지면서 어려워지면서 국가에서 이제 예산을 지지를 못하다 보니까 손을 내미는 거죠, 대학생들한테. 한마디로 말해서 이제 대학에서 비리가 많이 일어나는 거죠. 돈을 받고 그 학생을 이제 입시시키는 이런 상황이 벌어지고 있다고 합니다.
The more elite the school is, the higher becomes the bribe money. The Kim Il-sung University, the incubator of human resources for North Korean officialdom, is said to demand $5,000 from each new student.
인기 명문대학, 그게 이제 김일성 종합대학이나 평양 외국어대학 같은 경우에는 그 뇌물의 액수가 상당히 넘습니다. 한 몇천 달러 정도, 그러니까 1,000달러에서 한 5, 6,000달러 이렇게 높은 액수이고, 지방대학이나 좀 더 인기가 좀 덜한 학교의 경우에는 이제 몇백 달러 정도의 이제 뇌물로 그 대학을 들어갈 수 있는 이런 구조가 형성이 되어 있습니다.
Because of the multiple conditions, good scores, family background, and riches that determine one's prospects to get into a college, only about 10% of high school graduates in North Korea enter universities. Still, those fortunate to be eligible to apply for college cannot give up, as a university degree is the ticket to officialdom and respectable class in society. Since only half of the applicants are accepted to universities, what happens to those who fail?
북한에서는 재수생이 없죠. 만약에 이제 대학 때도 지금 바로 이제 군에 가거나 이제 직장에 가야 되는데 그래서 뭐 직장에서 뭐 3년 혹은 군에서 직장이나 군에서 한 3년에서 5년 정도 복무하거나 근무하게 되면 이제 그 기관장의 추천을 받아가지고 대학에 시험 볼 수 있는 그런 그 자격을 주어집니다. 그래서 이제 북한의 많은 학생들은 바로 대학에 가는 경우는 한 10% 정도밖에 안 되고 대부분이 다 군에 가거나 직장에 갔다가 거기 이제 기관의 추천을 받아가지고 나중에 이제 대학에 들어가는 경우가 많기 때문에 북한의 그 대학 신입생들은 대부분 다 나이가 많습니다.
In North Korea's rigid state-controlled system, college entrance that can shape the future of an individual is more up to the state rather than the individual.
중요한 거는 그 학생 개인의 자율적인 의사가 대학 결정에 반영되지 않는다는 거, 국가에서 그걸 정해준다는 것이 가장 큰 문제가 있는 것이고, 또 하나 이제 문제는 이게 예를 들어서 뇌물이나 또 그런 그 특정 일종의 그 성분이죠. 성분이 사실상 그 대학을 가는데 특히 좋은 대학을 지나가는데 결정적인 요소가 되기 때문에 그런 부분들이 역시 북한 그 입시 제도가 갖고 있는 뭐 한계다 이렇게 볼 수가 있는 것이죠.
Because affordability to pay off college officials and family connections or background are important factors in getting into good colleges, many bright and talented minds in North Korea may be forever undiscovered and undeveloped.
And that's all we have time for on Bizline this week. But do join us again next week because the season for Korea's most popular spectator sport is just about to begin. It's pro baseball time. And we'll be taking you to a smart new stadium packed with all the latest high-tech gadgets. But we'll also be asking, can the viewer experience be improved with high technology when you're watching a pleasingly low-tech game? Moreover, Koreans are known worldwide for their super high adoption rate of credit cards. What is behind Korea's swiping mania? We'll find out next week, but that's all for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was Bizline. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.